We just did intros, and it turns out he has no name. Just so you know, Dana.
Oh, okay. I was
yeah.
I was curious about that because it's like, well, what do I call you?
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah.
Well, you can
Mister.
call me Thinker. You can call me Thinker. That's
Okay.
what everybody online knows me as. This is episode 1 of a little holiday arc here that we're doing for 10Q Presents. I'm Thinker, and I've got with me 2 amazingly funny ladies that I always just get a kick out of following them on Twitter, listening to their podcast. It is the women of That Trophy Wife Life, Dana and Christina. Welcome.
Thank you.
So I just knew that I had to reach out and see if you guys would love to do a crossover podcast, and especially considering that one of the holiday topics I wanted to end up talking about was odd holiday traditions, and sometimes you guys end up hitting on stories that could kind of fit in that realm at times. So the 2 of you were the first people I thought of to reach out about odd holiday traditions.
Well, you're looking for odd and weird. We're your girls.
Yeah, that's right. He knew who to call.
Yeah.
Our marketing is working because he knew.
I love the 2 of you. Y'all are. It always brightens up my day whenever I see anything from the 2 of you. It's
awesome.
It's always a nice unfiltered look on life, and I like unfiltered looks on life.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. We couldn't filter if we tried.
Yeah.
We've tried.
Okay. Hey,
we're not capable.
There is nothing wrong with that. That means I'm in good company. I do not know how to properly. I used to know how to properly filter, but I've gotten old enough. I don't know how to properly filter anymore. So if I'm trying to filter, it just doesn't always come out the right way.
Yeah.
The thing that I've learned as I've gotten older, it's not so much that I have to filter myself. It's just saying it in a way where I don't have to filter myself, and I also don't get punched in the face.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's called
yeah. That's maturity for you.
I totally get that. That is kind of the way it goes. Okay. So the holidays mean different things to different people. What a majority of people in my own sphere, it's always the process of Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, as it is for a lot of people. You still have Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. You reach across the Atlantic, you can get Boxing Day in the UK.
I don't even know what Boxing Day is, actually. I legitimately thought it was a day for boxing.
Me too.
Well, and that right there, that right there, everybody that's watching or listening, catch next week whenever I'm talking to Cybersex Stu, because that's actually one of the questions I plan to ask him. He actually lives in the south of England. He and I do a podcast on a monthly basis. So we were going to talk holiday differences between the U.S. and our British cousins.
Okay. Yeah, Boxing Day here, we're just going around hitting everybody.
Yeah.
Boxing Day 365 in the U.S.
And you know what? This year of all years, it's probably
it's even worse.
Even that much more so at times.
Yeah.
So, but but for the 3 of us, Thanksgiving to Christmas is going to be that arc, and everybody has exposure to at least one holiday tradition that could be considered odd. And I'll go first.
Okay.
Whenever my family has gathered for Christmas, after presents are open, all the kids search for the pickle in the tree.
Oh, I've heard of this thing.
I know searching for the pickle is a fairly widespread thing. I've never really tried to figure out the source of where it started, how it started. But I'm just like, you're searching for a pickle.
Yeah.
In the Christmas tree.
It's hard though to find.
It is. It is. It's
well,
just not just even discounting the fact that the pickle's green and the tree's green.
Yeah.
Even if you made the pickle blue, it would still be hard to find.
Yeah. Well, I know it's probably with real trees, it's probably a lot harder because my like plastic chintzy ass tree right here is like, I can't hide anything, but I can't even hide the plugs. I have to like rotate everything to hide the plug. So if you have I remember growing up, we had a real tree and it was so thick, like ornaments would get lost, the dog would get lost. So I'm sure it's a lot easier to hide a pickle than something like that.
Marching out of your tree.
The paper boy's like, oh, hey guys, got lost.
I got a little lost in your tree. Just gonna make my way home now.
Yeah.
There were a few years that I didn't even want to put up a tree because of the cats.
Oh
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And those same years also lined up with the first few years that my kid was alive. Because I'm just thinking, pull things down, pull the tree over, and even though it's a fake tree, the pole in the middle is still metal.
Right. Well, yeah, and you can, I like the way you worded that though. The first time my kid was alive.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
As if there's a second and third.
Yeah. It was like pre-alive and post-alive. Yeah, that's good. I have a theory that cats are the devil for many reasons, but one of them is they're assholes and they will like push your shit over without care or concern.
Is the second reason because they make you sneeze?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's like reasons 8 through 45. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So my odd tradition may be a little odd, may not be.
Okay, but was it a real pickle or is it like an ornament that looks like a pickle?
it's an ornament pickle, and it's like the size of one of those bread and butter pickles.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's so. Yeah, so that makes it even tougher to find because it's in there amongst every other ornament that's on the tree.
And did you get a prize if you found it, or you just got like bragging rights?
I honestly don't remember from whenever I was a kid.
Oh.
I know the kid. I know the kids in the family now. It's bragging rights if you find it, but then but then whenever somebody finds it, there's a present for all the kids to share.
Oh, that's cute.
I'm like, I don't want to share.
I found it. I don't want to share.
No, whenever I first started dating my husband and the first time that I went to Christmas at with his family, they hide a pickle in the damn tree. And I was like,
that's weird.
Y'all are weird. What are you doing?
It's really weird.
And I started like the next year, I was like, looking in the tree, trying to be like inconspicuous about it. But I was like, I'm going to find that damn pickle. Never did.
That's so funny. It's funny because I imagine the kids like wrecking the tree to try to find it because I envision like a Black Friday free for all where everybody's just like, bye, to get the pickle. Because I know in my house, with 4 kids, that shit would be like knocked over in a heartbeat. They wouldn't care about anything.
Yeah. There goes the ornament. It's like a National Lampoon Christmas.
Yeah.
I know on my mother's tree, because she's always the one that hides the pickle in the tree. There's just, it's almost as much ornament as it is tree.
Yeah.
So you'd be hard pressed to knock it over. And if things start flying out away from the tree, somebody's going to get griped at.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody is
That's
actually
funny.
going to get griped at.
Yeah.
So we got the pickle in the tree. I always thought that was a deep South thing, but it sounds like it exists in California as well.
It does. Yeah.
What about Elf on the Shelf?
Oh, this fucking elf on the shelf. The bane of my existence.
Yes.
I've seen you stressing about Elf on the Shelf in the last couple of days.
Yeah. What do you think, Dana? It's been like 4 or 5 years maybe that it's been around, probably less.
Oh no, Elf on the Shelf has been around since the boys were little, and Mason and Kai are 15 and 14. So at least probably 10 plus years for sure that Elf on the Shelf has been around.
Yeah. I'm a new recruit and I regret everything, regret all my decisions. Yeah. I thought about, so back in the day, I told a story on the podcast, my son's guinea pig died and I like covered it up. And I'm considering doing that with our elf is Chippy. Because it's cute and it's fun until I forget. And then I'm like, motherfuck. And then my kid, I don't know why, but he's 9. He still buys it. Like he still is like, where's Chippy? What's Chippy up to? Like he like believes in all the magic. So I don't want to like undo the magic, but I feel like if I just kill the elf, then the magic lives forever.
Elf murderer.
Yeah.
I will bail you out.
I've got some people that I've known for a number of years that they always post pictures of what the elf ends up doing, and oh my gosh, they have too much time on their hands. They get too creative with it. For me, at least, it's too much.
Yeah. Well, like what I posted the other day where it's like, oh, the elf's going in the fridge because he wants to feel like home. Like that's real life in our house. And then he'll go from the fridge one day and the freezer the next day. And it's not in a good way either where it's like all set up. I'll just like open the freezer, toss him in, close the thing.
Mine's
and
the
then,
couch.
Yeah. There you
Under
go.
the couch. Oh, he's hiding.
I have a feeling that if I ever gave in to doing Elf on the Shelf, that there would probably be a morning that the elf would be found like face down in a bowl of finished cereal.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We'll see there. You can kill him off that way. Like he drowned to death in his Captain Crunch. Yeah. You do a chalk outline. You could really make the whole thing elaborate.
Get a therapy bill in 20 years.
Yeah.
His trust issues
For
started.
elf murder. Yeah.
Well, I watch so many shows and movies that deal with profiling, especially like serial killer profiling. I would want to do something like that. It's how many days, how many different ways can I think of to have the serial killer get the elf? But just like Kenny from South Park, he comes back to life the next day.
Every day, yeah.
That's a new one that you can do. You can be like, who murdered the elf? You can be raising a little detective where like every day he has to figure out who done it.
Yeah.
I'm into this. I want somebody to do this. Christina, will you do this for me, please?
I was gonna say this should be an adult instead of Elf on the Shelf. It should be like the Kill Bill or whatever, where it's like every day you got to murder them in a different forensic files sort of way, and then the person has to figure out how they were killed or who murdered them. What was the motive?
You get a prize.
Yeah. I'm all about it. This is a good plan. You should market this.
I agree. We're taking this one. Stay away. It's ours.
Yeah. That's fine. Just cut me in on at least 10%.
Okay. Perfect.
Brainstorming fee.
Yeah.
No, it's talking about Elf on the Shelf. I remember one time watching a episode of Shark Tank, and somebody came and pitched the Jewish alternative to Elf on the Shelf. It's Mensch on a Bench.
Oh. Love that.
So same idea. Same
Yeah.
idea. And
well, yeah, but they probably only have to do it for what, 8 days or whatever.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It is. Is it 8?
I only think it's 8 because of Adam Sandler's 8 Crazy Nights.
Then yes, you are correct.
Yeah. All my knowledge comes from movies. Yeah.
I am very clearly not.
Same.
A really bad one, if I am.
Yeah.
You know, of course, the only thing with Mensch on the bench is that they already get something. They already get some kind of gift every day of Hanukkah. Anyway.
Yeah, they get presents every day.
So there's, I don't know.
Maybe they do murder theirs then. Maybe that's part of the fun for them.
They've already figured it out. They've already they've taken our idea.
They're ahead of the game. Damn it.
Theirs.
What's some other ones that might stick with you as odd?
You know, when we were growing up, it didn't seem odd. And in hindsight, I'm like, well, that's weird. In our stockings, we used to get like shelled nuts, like walnuts and almonds and stuff. No idea. Still to this day, I have no idea. I don't know if it was just like they were being cheap. Although now, as an adult, nuts are not cheap.
That one's actually a holdover from like the 20s, 30s, and 40s.
It seemed like some Depression era shit because it was some walnuts.
Well, I even remember some early Christmases spent with grandparents where the stockings would have oranges in them.
Oh yeah, same.
Yeah.
And I never understood it at the time. But yeah, I think a lot of that has gone away, died off, because for those from that generation that are still around, they're no longer responsible for the family Christmas
for the stockings. Yeah.
Yeah, my mom used to do this wonderful thing, my mom and my stepdad, where every Christmas they would give you your gifts and they would not give you what you wanted. Until you were so depressed at the end of it all. And then all of a sudden, 10 minutes later, here comes the big package from behind the tree, or here comes something from under the couch, or here's something that was hidden in a cabinet, and it would be what you asked for. But it was like real, like they had to get like the dramatic effect of it all.
Yeah.
They were like, we're going to see you cry and then you'll be happy.
Yeah. Speaking of needing therapy later, that's some trust issues right there.
I said to me a long time ago that said, did you have a happy childhood or are you funny? And I was like, well.
Now, my parents actually tried to pull that on me one year. They gave me new tennis shoes at Christmas. But what they decided to do was they took this nice big gigantic box and they emptied half of the pantry into that box, covering up one shoe in the bottom of that box, and the clue where to find the other one. Well, whenever time came and I saw my name on that box, and and I'm a kid, I'm like, ooh, it's a huge box. It's got to be something good.
Yeah, and it's heavy.
And I pull it, and it's like, oh, that's heavy, man. What is this?
It's Ritz crackers.
Open it, and I'm just like, oh yes, I got food. I was excited to have a whole box of food. So much excited so that they had to be like, keep on digging, and and so finally I kept on digging, and I found that they pulled it on me again last year. Oh, because there was a present in the form of a gift card that I was expecting, but whenever I go to open up the box this was in, it was really heavy, and I go to open it, and it's some of the set of the World Book Encyclopedia that they had bought when I was young.
Just some of it. It's like Q and R.
It was only what they could fit in that box. Oh. Now, of course, they ended up telling me the other half of it's over in that shelf. Take it all with you when you leave. But immediately I looked at it and I thought, that's such a thoughtful gift, because I've always talked about how some of my best memories of childhood were sitting. I was an oddball kid at times, and I would sit down, I'd pull out a volume of the encyclopedia, and I would just read it. And so, it was nostalgia. So
Yeah.
I was happy to get it. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I was happy to get it. Oh, lovely. Well,
now you're very anonymous.
I guess I didn't charge that light up good enough. Tell you what, I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to do a quick edit or not. Maybe I'll deal with this.
There we go.
Who knows? Maybe I'll end up having like this really dramatic underneath all that, and then I'll look evil.
You look like
just get a
crime show, like you're the witness.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Get a voice changer and then just do the whole thing like you're in witness protection.
They call me Thinker.
Let's see if it'll even actually work when it's plugged in and charging.
Just get a flashlight and put it under your chin.
Oh yeah.
And talk like you're telling ghost stories.
Actually, speaking of which,
Dana,
you gave me an idea here. Yeah, I was afraid that was going to happen, yet I still didn't charge it anyway. Go figure.
Best laid plans.
Yeah. Here, let's see how this works. Well, that's better than nothing.
Yeah. Still slightly mysterious, but if the mob's coming for you, they're definitely gonna find you.
Yeah. Okay, the encyclopedias. So I was like, hey, great, this is a thoughtful gift. And then I got told, keep digging. And they had taped that gift card at the very bottom of the box underneath all of the encyclopedias in the box.
I thought they were finally going to give you the other shoe.
Yeah.
30 years later, they're like, all right, here you go.
Here you go. They don't fit anymore, but
we're playing the long game.
Yeah.
Now, I do remember that I just had to pull, after the shoes, I had to pull something like that on my sister the next year.
Oh,
yeah.
And so I ended up putting an envelope on the tree with her name on it and a clue in there that would lead her to finding her present somewhere in the house. But it was like an 8 or 10 step process. There was a lot of clues. She started getting frustrated before the end of it.
Yeah. That's so funny you say that. So this is my birthday weekend and my kid is like really into games and stuff. And so last year they did a scavenger hunt for me and he was responsible for doing the clues. And like half of them, it would lead you to a clue and the clue would just say no clue. I was like, what a jerk.
Yeah.
So they have it all set up again this year. And I'm like, oh, I wonder what my clue is going to be.
No clue.
No clue. You wasted your time, dummy.
Yeah.
I love those gift boxes that are like prank boxes. You like put the gift inside, but it's like shoe mops or something like that, where it's like, oh, here's a mop that you put over your shoes and you can like skid across your feet. And you're like, what the fuck is this? And inside is your real present. Yeah.
And then you re-gift it without opening it and you gave away something cool.
You give it back to the person that gave it to you.
So I, years ago, was like real big into gift giving and I would like make it this whole production. And I had bought a crock pot for somebody's wedding registry or off of somebody's wedding registry. And I folded 50 little origami birds as like a good luck whatever out of dollar bills. And I like made this little nest inside of the crock pot and put all the dollar birds in there. And like, I know, believe me, I know. Ridiculous.
You can't get creative with elf on the shelf, but
no shit, right? Well, it was probably like 10 years ago when I cared, but they returned it and never opened it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I didn't find out for months. They were like, yeah, we got 2. So we just went ahead and returned it. And I was like, was there anything inside? And they had sent back the one that I gave them.
Oh,
yeah. So whoever got it, this is their lucky day.
Dude, that person could have been like on the verge of suicide. They were like, fuck it, I'm just gonna dump all my meals in this pot. And then 50 origami birds. They were like,
yeah. This is the universe talking to me. Could you imagine if you were like on the verge of suicide and you're like, you know what I need? A crock pot.
Yeah.
That'll help.
You know what's going to make this better? Pot roast.
Yeah. Little chicken tortilla soup. It's been brewing all day.
Yeah.
So have there been any other odd traditions that either you have seen?
My mom once wrapped a cassette tape as a gift in money. Oh. So to open it, I had to be very, very careful not to rip the money. Like, that's a mind fuck of a gift.
Wow, like that's a little sadistic.
If Saw was a Christmas movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
You open it up and hypodermic needles come out. You're like, ah.
That's what I wanted. Thanks, Mom. Hepatitis.
Yeah. My grandpa would do that too, because he was very into collecting like coins and nice currency and all that stuff. And so he would get like the sheet from the mint and then wrap stuff in it. And then you'd unwrap it and you'd be like, okay, well, how do I spend this sheet of dollars? Like, what do I do with it? Can I take this to Walmart?
Lay it down on in front of him.
And like,
it's all there, I swear.
Yeah, I know. He wouldn't want you to spend it. And you're like, but it's like $20. I want
it's money. It's
yeah,
money. How could you give me money and not expect me to spend it?
Yeah. Wall. It's your first poster money.
Yeah. Yeah. He did the same thing. He gave us each a coin set where it was like $1 or 50-cent piece and then like a quarter through the penny of really nice, uncirculated, nice in a set, whatever. And everybody instantly was like, can you take me to the store? He's like, no, this is not spending money.
You don't know what you're doing with it.
Yeah. He's like, just give it back to me. I'll give you $2.
Yeah.
It makes me think of whenever they started doing the 50 state coins, and there were so many people that ended up getting the gift of that whatever the thing was that you put the quarters in every time you got one of them.
Oh yeah,
and you put them in where each of the states were. Yeah.
Oh, believe me, I worked at a bank. I would deal with that shit all day long, where people would be like, "Can I buy a roll of quarters?" And then the next day they'd bring back a roll of quarters. And I'm like, they'd be going through every single one of them, trying to find cool coins and then bringing it back.
1972 $30,000 quarter.
Yeah.
I'm guilty. Did it. I didn't go to the bank though. My husband had this huge jar of coins that he had just been throwing stuff into for years. And I was like, honey, I'm going to need to see that. I need to. And I sat there all night going through quarters, trying to figure out if we were $30,000 richer. Instead, I was just 4 hours poorer.
Yeah, exactly. What's your time worth to you? Yeah. Well, and that's it. Yeah. So working at the bank, I would see that all the time. And we had a coin machine that people just dump all their stuff in, and it would reject anything that's not standard mint quality. So it would be all of the silver coins or all of the like old stuff, all of the stuff that was of any value, it would reject it. And people would just grab it and be like, oh, here, I don't want this. The machine rejected it. And they would just like leave it with the teller. And I'd be like, yoink, I'll take that. I have so much pure silver coin just from that, because it weighs different than regular coin. And so people would be like, here you go. It didn't want this quarter. And I'm like, I'll take that off your hands. Don't you worry.
25 cents. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, it's a tip. A tip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like everybody that bought Bitcoin whenever it first was a thing.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, it's a fad. And then now if they were to sell it, man, they'd be rolling in the dough.
Which is shocking because it's called Bitcoin. So you would expect it to be very tiny.
I've had that explained to me repeatedly, and I'm like, I don't understand. It's not a thing. Like you're buying a hypothetical idea of a thing.
Well, and the whole point behind that is
I could go to lunch and come back and be like, did I eat lunch?
Somebody's willing to take.
Did we eat?
Did I leave the curling iron on? And Phil will be like, your hair's straight. I'm like, okay, so no.
Yeah, right?
No.
I guess what it
feel
relies on
hungry.
is
So
somebody to actually exchange
don't-
digital currency
Tuna
for
salad.
government debt currency.
Somebody smell my breath.
Yeah, exactly. It relies on suckers to be like,
Did
oh,
I
I'll
eat
buy your
tuna salad? I
imaginary
feel
money.
like I ate tuna
Yeah.
salad.
Tuna salad.
How real money.
Yeah. I'm going to trade you this
This is why my
Monopoly
husband
for your
sticks his
$100
face in my
bill.
butt and not my mouth.
Yeah. Do not
Somebody
Costco.
smell my
Do
breath.
not.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, ladies, I appreciate the time. This has been a wonderful conversation. Hopefully, maybe we can do another crossover collaboration again in the future.
Yeah.
But before we go, just want to go ahead and plug y'all's podcast once again, That Trophy Life. And I'm going to insert a clip right here. So there you go. That's a taste of the Trophy Life Live. Please check them out. If you don't already, subscribe to their podcast. You will be laughing as much as I've been laughing this entire time. So, Christina, Diana, thank you once again. Have happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and here's hopefully looking forward to a COVID-free New Year at some point.
Yeah.
In the future. Cheers.
All right.
Thank you for having us.
Cheers. You guys have fun finding those pickles.
Ho, ho, ho. It's Santa here. A very Merry Christmas and the happiest New Year. Ho, ho, ho.